Hello and welcome again to another episode of the Davis County Community Spotlight Podcast. I am Kristen Sherlock, your host, and we are here at the Davis Catalyst Center in Kaysville, Utah. And we've got our full student team here today. We've got Cody and Addison, Colin and Xander, and we even have a guest here today, Caitlin. And it'll be fun today, I think, because this interview I think you're going to really like because they are everything in one package. So we've got the Larkins, we've got Maddie and Rye. How are you guys?
Doing good.
Good. Did I say that right?
Yeah,
Ryan.
Okay.
Ryan.
Yes.
Okay.
Sorry, I call him Ryan. I probably did.
It's all right. I have a friend who she calls her husband by his last name, which is her last name.
Oh.
And so
it throws you off.
I'll call you whatever you want to get called. And so we have the Larkins here, and they created the Larklean Effervescent Kleaner. And I love everything about what is going on here. And I think you're going to enjoy hearing their story as much as I've enjoyed getting to know them and their story. So, well, first off, welcome.
Thanks.
What do you think of the Catalyst Center?
It's
amazing.
amazing. This is a great center.
The students know what they're doing, too.
It's kind of fun, isn't it? Like, I talk about this program all the time. Like, I really wish this existed when I was a student.
Yeah, and you don't even know it's here.
You don't. It's this brand new school here in Kaysville, Utah. So
And it's all high end and everything's really professional.
Yeah.
Yeah. So thank you for coming. So, okay, Davis County. Are you guys born and raised from here?
I am. I've born and raised here and lived here for all but 3 years of my life.
Okay. We were talking a little bit earlier about your family's history here. Did you say you were fourth generation?
Fourth generation here. Adams Canyon up in East Layton. That's named after my grandmother's side. We also have Larkin Lane here in Kaysville.
Go Larkin.
My great-grandmother lived there. My grandpa lived there. And then Green Road is also my grandma's lineage. So we have streets named after us, and we've been here from pretty much when the settlers came into Kaysville.
I think you are my first guest who has been here from the beginning.
And Fruit Heights.
And Fruit Heights,
Yeah.
Ah, I love it.
Yep.
I love it. I bet your ancestors would be really interested to see how things have changed over the years.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I see pictures of my grandma, and basically their farm went all the way from Bear Canyon, which is right below the radar towers, all the way down to Main Street. So everything all the way down there was their farm. And Nichols Road is where I grew up, and that used to be a dirt road up until just before I was born. And the Nichols, their little home's over there, and my parents actually own the Nichols home now.
Aww.
And we raise horses over there, and we've continued kind of the farming life a little bit.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Brian, that's so cool. And then Maddie, tell me about you. Where are you from?
Logan.
You're from the Logan area.
Yep,
Nice.
up in the Cache County.
So did you choose Davis County because Ryan was here?
No, I moved here before.
Okay.
I was up in Weber County, but then I moved to Davis County after we met.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you guys have been here for a while then?
We
Yeah.
have.
I mean, you've
Yep.
definitely been here for a
Yes.
while.
I've been here for like 5 years, 5 or 6.
Yep.
5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what do you love about Kaysville and Davis County?
I love the small town feel. In Davis County, there's so much to do, but it's not super busy. Like when you get into the main city, it's kind of home.
Mm-hmm.
It's got a home feel.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
It's not super busy and it feels like home.
And you've got all the mountains surrounding you, and it's just a beautiful place.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat those views.
No.
Oh,
you
no.
Whether it's
cannot.
Antelope Island and the sunsets behind that in the Great Salt Lake, or it's
Yeah,
the sun rises to the east.
Yeah.
So,
That's amazing.
it really is.
so then let's talk about your product here and your business. Like, how did this even get started?
Well, it was kind of out of an
COVID.
opportunity. Yeah, COVID.
It
COVID
was
kind of
from
changed
COVID.
things, and also my father was going through a sale of his company,
Okay.
and I'd gotten out of medical sales to
Okay.
go back and help my dad grow his business, and that was about 9 years ago. And my dad, his idea was he was going to sell at some point, but they were thinking they would probably leave the business intact, hopefully, and I would continue to run it after he was gone. But they ended up deciding to move it away to Denver. And with that, we had a full year's notice of this happening. And Maddie and I had already kind of had in play the fact that we were going to start our own company. And this kind of put the fire underneath us where we're like, okay, now it's real go time. We're going to try to do our thing on our own.
Right.
And I had a bit of history in chemical engineering. I'm not a chemical engineer.
You went to school for R&D, did you say earlier?
So my first declared major in college was chemistry. Well, it was microbiology major with a chemistry minor.
Okay.
And my dad went to school to be a chemist as well. And so I kind of learned the trade from him. And we started doing chemical manufacturing back when I was still in high school. And he started his own company back in 1990. And I was his first employee. Then he kicked me out once I got my college degree and said, you got to go out and fend for yourself and get some experience. And so I went out into medical sales for a lot of years. And then he brought me back in when his company started going too big for him to run by himself. And I took that knowledge and my knowledge of how to do compounding of different chemicals. And we decided to go after the disinfectant market because of COVID.
Okay.
The lack of disinfectant.
The world failed.
The world did.
Yeah.
Because I was in the dental field during that time, and we could not find disinfectant. We couldn't find anything. So we kind of saw that, and we're like, we need to be able to provide something that is affordable, because people were selling them for hundreds of dollars.
Oh, it was
for
madness.
a can of wipes. And, I mean, you see the Lysol can, and it's so hazardous. So we're like, we can do better. We can do way better than what is out there.
So you saw a need, and you're like, we can fill this need.
Yeah.
Yep.
We know how to do this.
Yeah.
And we could do it in a more ecologically friendly way and also cost-friendly way. So we came out with a concentrate. It's an EPA-registered concentrate. And when it's diluted, it has no health hazards. So when you look at all the different chemicals on the market, most of the high-level chemicals that kill all the really bad things like COVID
Right.
have really harsh chemicals in them.
I mean, like bleach, you're not supposed to
Yeah.
inhale
Even
this.
Lysol, like the
Yes.
can, you're not supposed to inhale that. But people are using that as
But
like
it's
an
aerosol.
air freshener after they go to the bathroom.
Yeah. And we wanted something that would be better for people, not only in their pocketbooks, but also their health.
I'm
Yeah.
allergic to a lot of chemicals. If I use anything that's filled with bleach, I break out in a huge rash. My sinuses burn, everything. But this product has completely gotten rid of
Well,
that.
and let's talk about fragrances too. Like sometimes there's so many fragrances that are added to things that it can create rashes in
Can't
people.
handle it. Yeah.
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 Yeah, and ours has a really light fragrance. Once you spray it and it's moistened the surface, it smells clean. It doesn't smell. It doesn't have like florals or anything
But
to
it doesn't stick around. That's
Yeah.
the thing. It's not that lasting lavender scent that starts smelling weird after a while.
Right. The fake scents.
You use it and it smells, we say it smells clean.
Yeah.
With a K.
I like it. So we saw a need, and then how do we even go about creating something like this?
It was a long
I mean, this
process.
is so foreign to me. I'm so excited to learn about this.
Especially going through the EPA process.
Yeah.
Once you start dealing with federal government on any regulations like that, especially with the disinfectant, any disinfectant out there is considered a pesticide. And once you go into the pest, because it kills bugs, obviously. So pesticides are highly regulated in the U.S., and especially
For a
in
good
states
reason,
like
though.
California.
Right.
California's got more regulations against these things than anywhere. So going through all the EPA steps took months just to get through those. That was before we could even launch a product.
Right.
We had a
And the
concept,
money.
that was it.
So you've got a lot of time here and all
Yeah.
the money to pay for all these different
Yes.
testings.
Yeah.
And then we had to come up with the cash flow to try to fund getting bottles and boxes and the chemical and marketing and everything else. And luckily, Maddie has a lot of history in marketing, and she was able, and she's really good with graphics. She came up with every bit of the stuff we have herself.
This is awesome. You guys are like the ultimate power couple.
Thanks. We like to keep everything in house. We don't like to refer things out, especially after.
Well, and we're going to
everything.
touch on
Yeah.
that in a minute. Yeah, but I think this is fantastic that you've got the science background, you've got the marketing and advertising background. Like, this is fantastic.
Yeah.
So now you've done all of the regulations. They say go ahead, you can mass produce this product. Like, how do you what's
That's
the next
the
step?
hard part. So because it is an EPA registered product and it is a pesticide, we can't market it on Facebook, Google, Instagram, or any social media platform. So we can't tie it into anything. We had it on Amazon, but
Yeah.
Amazon is a little finicky about their products. we were having it taken down left and right, even though we had all of our stuff in the boxes. So we're like, we just can't even do Amazon anymore because our whole account was getting shut down.
Oh my gosh.
And it just takes one representative to look at it and not see something for your entire account to be shut down. So we went through all of that and we're like, all right, we just have to do organic marketing. So it's been phone calls, it's been posting on groups and all of that. But
it's all grassroots.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just word of mouth. Maddie's really good with her videos now, especially. You've seen quite a few of them, I'm sure.
Yeah.
And she puts out videos on TikTok and posts them there, and we're getting thousands and thousands of views. We had one that went absolutely crazy. How many views did that one video have?
It's almost 600,000, but it's all organic.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's really difficult to start growing a business that you've already spent like $1 million on, just even get it to the point that you can market it.
Yeah. Yeah, and then I had relationships with bottle manufacturers and things from my father's business, been working there. And so we were able to work through some of the contacts I had to get the bottles produced and printed, the boxes, sprayers, pumps, all those things, sourcing all that stuff. I was in operations for them, so my job was kind of keeping tabs on prices and things for all of those items. And
which that was probably a moving target as well because of COVID.
It always is. And even during COVID, it was even worse. We had to, instead of using our normal suppliers, we had to go to China, to Mexico, to Canada, anywhere we could possibly find bottles.
And everything was on back order.
Oh,
everything.
Yeah.
And
it took
twice
so
the
long.
cost.
Yeah. Especially getting the one that we wanted because it's black and we wanted the black look for it.
Right.
It was a process.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and I think this is lovely. I love the black bottle. I love the shade of green. It's like an olive green.
Yeah.
To it, the household disinfectant.
It's Larklean green.
The Larklean green. I love it. So what can I use this disinfectant spray on?
Everything. So I use it on counters. I use it on mirrors and windows, and it's streak free. I use it on soft surfaces. We just can't claim disinfectant on
anything soft.
Anything soft.
Because you can't take a swab of a soft surface and put it on a petri dish and show that it's killed everything.
Oh, that's a good point.
Although it does kill it, soft surfaces are really deep. And you have to show penetration all the way through the whole surface to claim disinfection on it. So, although it does work on soft surfaces well, and you don't have any degradation of the soft surface.
That's important.
Yeah, you just can't claim. You can claim it's clean, not disinfected.
It won't break anything down.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's just great.
Did I hear that there's somebody that we know that uses this for disinfecting his garbage cans?
Oh yeah,
outside?
Shiny Bins. Caesar, really great guy. He's another local business from here in Davis County. Shiny Bins. He goes around. He has this cool machine that grabs the trash bins, tips it upside down, washes it out, and cleans your bin. I mean, there's nothing worse than going out and throwing away trash and you have
and plugging your nose as you're trying to open
the
thing.
Oh yeah, it smells worse than the garbage you're throwing in it. And so he goes around and cleans it. But his last step is after he cleans, he uses our Larklean disinfectant and disinfects the bin at the very last step. It's huge for him. And
that's awesome.
We really appreciated people like that, especially locals that have really jumped on board and have been using our product, and they love it.
Well, I love a local homegrown story, making a local product and then other local businesses using this, and we're doing this here. Like, isn't this like what the sense of community is about? Yep. That we all help each other.
And it's hard to get local support sometimes. Friends and family, spotty, but it's great to see other businesses that are thriving and trying to grow, grabbing a hold of your product and saying, this is great, I'm going to use it, and they love it.
And speaking of local businesses, did I see that this was on the shelves at Bowman's?
Our Effervescent is, yes.
Okay, let's talk about this other product then.
Yes.
So let's talk about the Effervescent Kleaner, which is different than the disinfectant cleaner. So the disinfectant's a liquid, this is a powder.
It's a powder.
Yes.
Okay, let's talk about this one.
So it's a powdered scrubbing agent. It works kind of like a Comet cleanser, like you would use that, but it doesn't have the harsh chemicals in it like Comet does. So you don't have to worry about wearing PPE, personal protective equipment. You also don't have to worry as much about inhalation, where with Comet and things like that, you have to worry about the inhalation because it's going to affect your mucous membranes in your nose. It's going to affect your lungs. It's going to affect so many different, and your eyes.
You've got me so nervous about cleaning my house.
Yeah, and if you don't have...
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Yeah.
That's right.
If you don't have rubber gloves on with that stuff, it can get into your cuticles. It can get into cuts, and it'll really burn you. Ours doesn't do that.
So tell me about Larklean then, Effervescent then, because this sounds like it's super
awesome.
safe and calming.
It's formulated with natural sodiums and acids, but it also has a degreasing element added to it. So it's perfect for the toilets. It leaves that porcelain so shiny. But then we also use it on stovetops. We use it in the oven, which is great because normally when you clean your oven, you have to put it through that clean cycle too, which smells horrible, but you don't have to worry about chemicals being burned into your oven.
Mm-hmm. I saw on social media recently that you showed a really shiny, beautiful looking glass cooktop.
Yes.
Was that with this?
Yeah. So I only use these two products in my entire house.
Oh my gosh.
I sometimes use a polisher for like stainless steel, but those two products are basically all I use. Mm-hmm. They've replaced everything.
The good thing is the most recent video she put out, we just cooked we make our own homemade bacon. And when you cook bacon, there's no way to keep the bacon just in the pan. It splatters everywhere. And trying to get bacon grease off of a glass countertop is hard, and it leaves streaks. But with this, it'll scrub it. It breaks down all the greases in there so they can be removed easily. And then we finish it off with the Larklean disinfectant, and that puts a just shine to everything.
Oh my goodness. Like, I'm thinking about all the possible uses, like mother-in-law approved, can go in the nursing home and assisted living facilities, like all the places to make all the people
versatile.
happy.
Oh, you can use it on children's toys, like any of the balls or anything they play with. Or any
the
of the hard
daycares.
Toys. You can spray those down and then just leave it on for 10 minutes and then wipe them all down. And
we've had some do like soaking. They soak the toys in the solution.
Wow.
And they love it.
And you can also dilute our disinfectant and use it in a mop to mop floors with. We've got home cleaners that use that.
Brilliant.
All the way down to Florida. We have some down there that are using it as basically everything. They mop with it. They use it on the showers. They use it on countertops, toilets, everything.
So let's talk now about the challenges that you had bringing this to market, because you mentioned just a minute ago about doing everything in-house. Why have we chosen to do everything in-house?
We had a major manufacturing issue with our effervescent. Since it's a powder, we had the ability to do liquids and fill liquids, but we didn't have the ability to mix powders on a large scale. And so we had a company blend it for us, package it for us, and everything. And
which is what you think you're supposed to be doing to the next step to grow. You need to start outsourcing.
And we did 3,000 units.
Okay.
Yeah.
And we got them back, started selling our sales because it's an amazing product. The effervescent, people love it. It's fun for kids to be able to throw in the toilet and stuff and watch. I mean, it's almost like a science experiment, just watching it fizz up.
Like a bath bomb for the toilet bowl.
It allows parents to raise capable kids safely.
Yeah.
Because it's products that you can trust.
Our kids even, and we've
Our
had it
kids
for a
fight
year.
to clean the
They
toilet
want clean toilets because they want to be able to dump it in and watch the
Wait, you're going to
fizz.
help me get my kids to fight to clean their bathrooms?
We cannot cure fighting, but we will cure what they fight
Children,
over.
do you hear this?
Maybe not the 17-year-old, but maybe the younger.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah, but so we took our product and our sales were doubling every month, and it was going absolutely crazy. And all of a sudden, we started getting some negative reviews.
Oh no!
And so we looked at it, and we started opening up more bins from the 3,000 we had made. Some were solid,
hard as a rock.
Hard as a rock. You couldn't. There's
no way it could dissolve.
Oh, you couldn't.
No.
I couldn't get it out. I would smash it, and the plastic around it would crack, not the actual formula.
Which means that water was introduced at some point. Now, there's a seal on the top, so there shouldn't be any water in it, but they had manufactured it and let water in the beginning. Even though there's a desiccant packet, that means there was a lot of water in there. And then we took 3 different samples out of our stock, sent it to Weber State Chemical Engineering Department. They did their study on it. Dr. Walker up there.
He's amazing.
Great guy.
He's a great guy.
And he did the study on this and came back, and there's a 90% variation from one sample to another.
Oh my gosh.
90%. Now
90%. I mean, that's not even your product now at that point.
2 or 3% we could have dealt with, even up to 5% we could have dealt with, but we got it back and it's a 90%, and we were mortified. And that day we got it back, we pulled the whole entire thing off sales.
Oh my
And so
goodness.
it basically killed our brand right at the end of the year last year. And we had to
about a
regroup.
throat punch.
Right?
It was, especially with so much
It's
money.
kind of more a
and,
stab.
yeah, and she quit her job, and this was her full-time job, was sit at home marketing this and getting it rolling. And she'd done such a great job. And then to have to pull it off the market at the last minute when things are going really, really good, it was a gut punch.
Which the thing is, like, we have all those blended and they're sealed. So we weren't going and opening them up to test each one before we shipped them because we entrusted another company with our company. And that's where we went wrong.
So long story short, we pulled it off the market in December, early December, and we just relaunched it about a month ago.
Yeah.
And I looked at the product and during that time figured out I could improve it even. So the new relaunched Effervescent Kleaner is now a better version than even the first version we came out with, which was amazing. Now this new version is even better than the first version.
And we were able to cut costs down, so we were able to provide it for a cheaper cost.
Yeah.
You know, there's a theme that I've noticed here with a lot of my podcast episodes I've done up until now, and even this, like the beautiful things that can come out of hardship.
Yes, you have to make the most of it.
That's right. And a lot of times that's because of those dark moments that something beautiful actually takes place or something improved seems to take place. And your story seems to fit that same line.
Well, there's always that adage of blood, sweat, and tears. And there was a lot of blood and sweat up front, and a lot of tears in the end.
A lot of tears. Still tears. There's still
Is that what made those solid then?
Exactly.
They were my tears.
Yeah. But we grew from it, and we learned from our mistakes, even though they weren't our mistakes. Just outsourcing was the mistake.
Yeah.
And having control back in-house again and testing back in-house.
Right here in Davis County, right here in Kaysville.
Right here in Kaysville. It's all done right here.
It's all done here in Kaysville. So if we wanted to buy either the disinfectant or the Effervescent Kleaner, where can we go find this?
Larklean.com. It's Larklean. So it's kind of a
Larklean.com.
play off of our name. So it's Larkin, just with clean.
Yeah,
I like
and
it.
Klean is with a K now.
Yep.
And we have a code, so if they use ship to me with the number 2, all caps, it ships for free.
You guys, did you hear that? That's very generous of you to do that. Thank you.
Yes.
This is awesome. I really hope you have a lot of success with this.
Thank you.
I mean, especially after all this trial and error and the frustration.
Yeah.
But I've seen what it's done for my toilet bowl the one time that I had a sample. And then the photos that I've been seeing online, like when I saw the glass cooktop, like, you know, you buy all the products and all the scrubbies trying to get that to be clean. Oh, I am so excited.
And you spend so much doing it. Yeah.
Yeah. This is exciting. Any parting words of wisdom or any thoughts that you want to leave?
No. Maybe just, you got to always pivot. As a business, you got to pivot. Things rain down on you, but you got to, I mean, we could have just given up and been like, all right, didn't work. We'll move on to the next, but you got to just regroup.
You believe in it. You believe in your product.
Yep.
You believe in what it can do.
Yeah, and you have to be malleable when you're in a business, and you have to look at where things are going and, like she said, pivot. You have to mold to the situation and be flexible, and don't be so rigid in your thoughts and just have one track mind. You have to be able to move where either the product needs to go or the customer base you're going for.
Right. Because this is probably not where you thought you were going to end up.
No, not at all.
Not at all.
But it's not a bad place though either.
No. We love it.
It's great.
It'll be great.
Isn't
we
that kind of
love
fun?
the flexibility of being able to work. We camp a lot on the weekends, and it's funny because we work in the camper in the middle of the desert, in the middle of the mountains. We're working by the side of a lake. We can take this with us and do it wherever we want.
Does it feel like work?
No, because it's building.
Because you love it.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like it's some work, but I love it.
Yeah. No, it's a lot of fun, and being able to work with my wife doing it, it's been amazing. There's a lot of couples who couldn't work with their spouses, and we balance each other really well.
I think we work better together.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah. Well, Larkins. So Larklean, blah, blah, blah. I can't even talk today. We talked about how I had to drop my New York accent when I moved here.
You're
and I
picking
still
it
can't
back
speak. I'm so glad you both came in, Ryan
Thanks
and
for having
Maddie.
us.
Thank you. And Larklean.com, right?
Yes.
And what was that code for shipping?
Ship to me.
Ship to
With
me.
a number 2.
Yes, with number 2.
And
All
if
caps.
you guys can go find them, they're on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook, and watch how these products just change lives. You're going to really appreciate seeing what Maddie and Ryan have created here. So right here from Kaysville, Utah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, thanks for coming in and thanks for listening. And until next time, thanks for coming on here to the Davis County Community Spotlight. And thanks to our student team here at the Davis Catalyst Center. We're really grateful for you guys. Okay. Have a great day. Bye, guys.